And welcome into Simply the Bets, brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Glenn Clark, Paul Valley with you as we're going to try to win some money. It was a mixed bag for me this week. The Canelo Alvarez thing, yuck. Rose Namajunas was a worse fight and a worse result somehow. Just brutal. But we get back out on the horse. Also, I had the Bucks in Game 3 last night, too. So, yeah, or Game 4, I guess it was. Not a great couple of days. Got to pick it up. And we will let Aaron Oster try to help us win some money. From VSiN, he's going to join us here in just a minute. And then later on in the program, our buddy Leon Twyman, the assistant GM of the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel, will check in with us to let us know what's going on. Don't forget, the Fanduel Sportsbook is the place to be for every big fight, including later on this month, Gervonta Davis, Tank, Baltimore Zone, back in action, taking on Rolando Romero. And if you want to be there for the fight in the Fanduel Sportsbook, using the 61 self-service kiosks to get all of your bets in, then what you need to do is email events@sportssocialmd.com and tell them you're coming. You want maybe a table. Maybe you want some reclining chairs for you and your party, your friends, to hang out, watch the fights. Again, May 28th for Gervonta Davis, Rolando Romero. That's the next big one coming up, and you'll want to be there in the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. Joining us now to offer us some advice for the week, he is our buddy Aaron Oster from out in Vegas at VSiN, and he's with us here in Simply the Bets. What's going on, pal? How are you?
You know, I'm doing well. Not quite as well as anybody who bet Rich Strike over the weekend.
Yeah, not nearly as well as anyone who bet Rich Strike, and your boy was not in that category.
I'm stunned.
Oh, God, I was just talking about some of the struggles that I had this week, and I didn't even include the Kentucky Derby. I had Canelo. I had Rose Namajunas. I had Canelo, unfortunately, in a few different parlays because I thought it was a safe bet. Thought that was pretty safe. They literally built an entire platform around Canelo Alvarez, and he doesn't fight anybody real just so he can stockpile wins, and he lost to Dimitri Bivol. Felt really good about that. And I had him in a ton of parlays over the weekend. Anyway, the moral of the story being, yes, on top of that, I probably had 8 different Kentucky Derby bets, and none involving Rich Strike. None. I mean, I hit like a cheap place bet on Zandon, but that's it. Like, it was a bloodbath for your boy. Well, you are somehow, I don't know how you're doing this with Orioles related bets, but going back to back, or was it back to back, or was it 2 out of 3? Picking the Orioles to score a first inning run when they hadn't done it at all, and then following it up with getting a hit from Rougned Odor. I don't know, what are you, some sort of sorcerer? Are you some sort of wizard, sir, with hitting these Orioles bets?
I'm baseball prop magic.
Must be the case. Still a few things that are longer term payouts that we will monitor as that goes on. But that was a pretty decent little hit for you last week. And then you also hit on Jason Tatum hitting 3.5 threes in that game against the Bucks. So, pretty good start to the week for you for last week. Let's get into 5 L's for this week. Again, not 5 losses. Aaron's got 5 different bets for us with L themes as he tries to help us win some money. And we do begin with the local bet. That is our first L. Are you going back to the well?
I kind of have to, simply because there's not a whole lot else going on. I guess, I was hoping actually some maybe lacrosse bets would pop up, something a little bit different.
That's a little disappointing for me, by the way.
Yeah, so I haven't really been able to find anything there. So I'm going back to the well, and fortunately there's not a lot up on this game because the Cardinals pitcher is not up. So you know what? I'm going to go back to the well. I'm going to go back to how this little run with the Orioles started. The Cardinals are one of the best teams at getting a run in the first inning. They are the second best team in baseball right now. so I'm just going to say it. I'm going to have the Orioles-Cardinals, yes, first inning run in this game.
All right. I'd hate this bet, but it worked out the last time, so I'd be a fool to not agree with you this time. I would be a fool to not go join you. And considering I've been a fool quite a bit over the course of the last 3 days, I need something that hits. So I will take a shot with you on a first inning run tonight. And a reminder, that's either team. So despite the fact that it's the Cardinals that have been so good at it, if it's the Orioles who score a first inning run for whatever reason tonight in St. Louis, and the bats have certainly come to life a bit, then that pays out as well. Let's go to long term. Let's go to a futures bet. What's something you got your eye on?
This one's interesting. This one, unfortunately, again, it's one of those things where I liked it a lot better yesterday, and I wake up this morning and the line has moved a little bit. But I'm looking at football here. Again, I'm continuing to kind of get my portfolio together for the NFL, so a ways off. But you can get some interesting lines now if you're willing to let your money sit for a while. I'm looking at the NFC East, where right now the Cowboys are a pretty significant favorite there. But I'm not sure why they're so significant of a favorite.
You know exactly why they're so significant of a favorite. Because they're the Cowboys. That's it. Because people bet them because they're dopes, and so the odds have to be at a certain place because of that.
And that's certainly a big part of it, though. It's been interesting over the past couple of years. The Cowboys have not been nearly as popular of a bet, I would say. But either way, the Philadelphia Eagles, I think, have had a great offseason. They've made some good moves. Obviously, they got A.J. Brown. I think getting Jordan Davis was a really great move in the draft. I think that they arguably have just as good of a team, if not a better team than the Cowboys. And right now you can get the Eagles to win the NFC East at plus 240 at Fanduel. I really like that bet because, like I said, I think at worst they're as good as the Cowboys. They might be better than the Cowboys. So if you get that at plus 240, I think it's a pretty good bet.
Look, I struggle to have faith in the Eagles just because it requires having faith in Jalen Hurts, right? But to your point, I mean, this is now he's throwing the ball to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. It's kind of, it's definitely an Esser get off the pot type of season for the Eagles with Jalen Hurts now. In that division, sure. I think your point about the value is well taken. That the Cowboys kind of skew things a little bit. There's value on the Eagles. I just am not very confident. Frankly, I'm not confident in just about anything. I feel like I just utterly stay away from the NFC East because it's also possible that like both teams have their quarterbacks get hurt, and then you're talking about a 7-10 Washington team somehow winning the division by default.
Yes, I mean, that's very possible because, it's the NFC East and the NFC East is stupid, and all of those things are very, very true. Again, that's why, you're getting plus 240. It's not like this is a lock for the Eagles or anything.
Right.
It's an implied probability of 28%-ish, I want to say. So do I think that there is better than a 28% chance that the Eagles win? Yeah, I do. I think, honestly, this should be something closer to plus 50.
All right. Give me your long shot. Give me your underdog that you like.
I haven't really been seeing a whole lot of underdogs. I kind of went through some of the awards really quickly. Didn't really see much I liked. And so I talked to one of my buddies yesterday who has been hitting it like crazy when it comes to golf this season. Over at VSiN, our Long Shots podcast has been just...
From VSiN is with us. He's given out his 5 L's for sports betting this week on Simply the Bets. Let's go to the one, whatever it is that you do not make this bet. Stop immediately. Make any other bet than this one. What is your loser?
So this is going to be funny coming off of my praise of the Eagles. And this is going to be a little bit different from most of the losers I've given out in the past. In the past, I've always been looking for a favorite that I think, it doesn't quite make sense they're the favorite, something along those lines. In this case, I'm going to respond to a report I saw yesterday, and after talking to some other reporters, it seems like it's happening all over the place. Since the draft, by far the most popular NFL MVP bet has been on Jalen Hurts. It's gotten to a point where it's been cut from 50 to 1 to 25 to 1. It's at the point where basically every book, their biggest liability is on Jalen Hurts. Don't bet Jalen Hurts for MVP.
I would like to think that would go without saying, but
well, Well, you would think it would go without saying, but again, everybody is betting the Jalen Hurts, and this is something that happens pretty much every year. I remember back in 2019, everybody was getting really weirded out because everybody was coming in and betting Mitch Trubisky for MVP, and to the point where I think he closes like the 5th favorite that season because just everybody was betting it. And this kind of feels like the same thing. Look, I understand why it's exciting. A.J. Brown, all of a sudden he has an offense around him. But like last year he had 3,200 yards passing and 800 yards rushing. Nice little season. But when you consider that the absolute floor to even be considered would be, probably 4,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing and a bunch of touchdowns in there. That's a big jump. He's not going to do that. Please, especially at the prices now, please don't bet Jalen Hurts to win MVP. That's just not a good thing to do.
Yeah, look, and I get it. Somebody would say make a comparison to Lamar Jackson here, but I mean, come on, man. Like
it's completely different.
Yes.
Like Lamar Jackson, you knew would put up unprecedented numbers in the rushing game. He was the offense.
Right.
And that's not what he is. Again, if you told me that Jalen Hurts, that they would say, all right, we're unleashing Jalen Hurts here, or whether it's Jalen Hurts who didn't want to do it or whatever, and they would say, what we're going to do, we're going to absolutely unleash him with the legs. He's going to have 1,500 yards rushing. He's going to be the red zone threat. He's going to be getting all of those. I would say, okay, you know what?
Right.
There's something there.
Right.
But I don't think that's a thing. I just...
Tend to agree with you, sir. Tend to agree with you. All right, now the one that you say, whatever you got to do, get there. My God, by any means necessary, be in the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland in Hanover. Hop on the friend's shoulders and let them carry you there. Whatever it takes, a piggyback ride from Harford County to Hanover if necessary, in order to get this bet in. What is the bet that you love this week?
All right, I'm jumping back on, as I said last week, one of the things I really like doing, now that we're at this time of the year, is look at the various player props in the NBA playoffs. And I'm looking at the Mavericks-Suns game here, and I'm looking at Dorian Finney-Smith, who has been on fire.
8 threes in Game 4.
He had 8 threes in Games 4. He's just really doing it all, whether it's he had a bad game in Game 2. But overall in the playoffs, he's just been doing it all. And I really like looking at FanDuel Sports right now. They do have a points and assists combo. And for Dorian Finney-Smith, it's 13.5. Even when he doesn't get his, those 8 threes or whatever, and just light it up on points, he's really been doing well on just all around. So, yeah, I kind of like that. Give me 13.5 points and assists for Dorian Finney-Smith.
That's combined. 13.5 combined points and assists for Dorian.
Yes.
Right. Well, I mean, I like that bet too, frankly. I do. I get it. It's the road. This is why I'm not panicked as a Suns fan, is because when you're a team that has to hit that number of threes in order to win, it's harder to do that on the road. So I can get where you would say, hey, he's not on the road. It will be difficult for him to replicate what he did in Dallas, but still, that's not a very big number. That is not a very big number.
No. And actually, I mean, whichever way you wanted to play this, I had just pulled up points. I thought it was points and rebounds at first as I was reading it out there, and I just realized they have points and rebounds there. So if you actually instead liked his points and rebounds at 17.5, you could play that as well.
Okay.
I think that he's actually, kind of doing it all there. So whichever one you like better, the 13.5 points and assists, if you want to keep the number a little lower, or if you want to go rebounds, which he has been doing a little more on, and the 17.5. I think both of those are pretty nice.
All right, very good. Those are your 5 L's this week from Aaron Oster. Aaron, remind everybody what's going on with VSiN.
We are still going. Obviously, a lot of the big events are past. The Kentucky Derby is past, but we have Preakness, we have fights, we have a number of things going on. Of course, we have the NFL schedule release this week. Lines are already coming out for all of these games that are being played.
So
now,
can you bet the Christmas Day game right now between the Broncos and the Rams?
As soon as games are being announced, odds makers are putting out lines.
Nuts.
So yes, if you are crazy enough and you want to play those games. I'm not sure why, but you know what? Some people want to. Maybe they think they have the edge and they want to be the first person to get a bet down. But as soon as those lines come out, they will be going up on VSiN.com. There will be analysis on them. So check it out, VSiN.com.
All right, very good. At the Oster on Twitter is how you follow him. My friend, appreciate you as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Have a good week. Hope you guys catch some tickets.
It's Aaron Oster from out in Vegas at VSiN. When we come back in, we'll move a little bit closer to home. Our buddy Leon Twyman from the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel joins us next. This is Simply the Bets. Sports fans, the wait is over. The all-new Fanduel Sportsbook is now open at Live Casino and Hotel in Hanover, Maryland. This is your chance to win big right in your own backyard. Bet on every sport with self-service kiosks and watch all of the action from the best seat in the house. Make every moment more at the all-new Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel in Hanover. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit mdgamblinghelp.org.
The biggest pro wrestling stars today and all time all have one thing in common. You've heard them on Jobbing Out.
Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks.
Thanks for having us, man. Appreciate it.
The great Kurt Angle.
Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Matt Riddle.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man.
The champ, Drew McIntyre.
Oh, thank you for having me.
The great Ron Simmons.
Damn.
Keith Lee.
Appreciate you guys having me, man.
Bill Goldberg.
My pleasure.
Charlotte.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mick Foley is with us.
This is the greatest name for a wrestling show I've ever heard.
MJF.
I'm glad you're happy I'm on this show because I'm freaking miserable.
Le
champion!
Chris Jericho.
Le champion.
AJ, Aaron, Brandon, and Glenn are talking pro wrestling every week on Jobbing Out. Find it at PressBoxOnline.com/radio, iTunes, and SoundCloud.
Answering Baltimore's calls for help, running in when others run away, working together toward one shared vision for a thriving city. That's your Baltimore Police. But the department needs more good people, people like you. Join a proud new generation of Baltimore Police and make an active difference in your community. Start with competitive wages and excellent benefits on day one. Join for good at bpdrecruit.org.
Stan the Fan here, welcoming back one of my favorite sponsors, the Costas Inn. And everybody around Baltimore knows the Costas Inn is a great place to go and grab crabs, steaks, salads, soups, whatever's on your mind to eat in person. But did you know that the Costas Inn has upped their game? They are now one of the premier takeout places in Baltimore. Give them a call now to order your food, 410-477-1975. That's the Costas Inn over 4100 North Point Boulevard.
The latest edition of PressBox is available now. On the cover, Luke Jackson profiles Orioles catcher Adley Rutschman, diving into where his passion for baseball and for catching comes from and how he uses that passion to elevate those around him in the Orioles organization. Also inside, Bo Smolka takes a look at how the Ravens' 2021 draft picks can make progress in year two, and Glenn Clark offers a very unique tribute to former rival Mike Krzyzewski that all Maryland fans can appreciate. PressBox is available for free at over 500 area locations, including 60 Royal Farm stores, and you can always find the entire edition as well as the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps at PressBoxOnline.com.
Stay tuned. Your chance to win $1 million is coming up. Probably not from us. You're listening to Glenn Clark Radio.
Well, actually, you're listening to Simply the Bets, brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. By the way, I am told that we mentioned the Arsenal-Everton match coming to Baltimore. Tickets will go on sale on Thursday for that match. So if you want to be there on July 17th, is that the date? No, July 16th is the date for that match. If you want to be there, tickets go on sale on Thursday. All right. Yes, John Colson. Did you find some AAA bet? Oh, hooray! We can use the remote control for the fan now. I like everything about that. All right, what's that? It did not come with batteries. Yeah, that's the story. Settle down. Why are you all worked up, John Colson? All right, let's head down to the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel, where our guy, Assistant General Manager Leon Twyman, is standing by. Leon, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you all this week?
I'm all right. So we were just talking with Aaron a second ago because they've already announced a couple of NFL games. We know the whole schedule is going to be out this week. But has there officially been a bet put in on an NFL game as of yet, given the three that have been announced? Or do you think we're going to start seeing actual NFL bets come in as the full schedule is announced on Thursday?
Definitely this week we will, for sure. We haven't had anybody really bet the first game that's available right now with us, but I see this week we're going to get hammered for sure this week with the schedule release.
It's nuts, by the way. It's nuts. Like it's May. I get it, man. I'm all for being aggressive. It's May. I don't even know who's going to play in these games. So what are we doing? But the odds there will be odds for, is it just for week 1 games that the odds will go up for this week?
From my past experience, they may put up the first 2 weeks, but we'll see what they do this week with the schedule release. Definitely the first week, but I'm anticipating the first 2 weeks.
As of right now, the only regular season game that's available to bet is the Chargers-Chiefs Amazon Thursday night game on September 15th. And the Chiefs, for what it's worth, are 3-point favorites at home. So just but by the way, now that I think about it, a Thursday night home game, they're only 3-point favorites. You know what?
Yeah,
I might have to bet the Chiefs. I'm insane. I might have to bet the Chiefs.
Get it in early. Keep that ticket.
Oh, man. All right. So, Leon, obviously, I know it was a big fight weekend. I would prefer if we did not discuss the results of said fights because it was a not so great weekend for your boy who had Canelo on a lot of parlays because I thought it was a safe bet. I'm an idiot.
Oh. Same way. I had him on every single one of my parlays.
Really?
And I usually do not parlay a lot of hockey.
Okay.
Because I am not the greatest when it comes to betting hockey.
You and I both, my friend.
And I literally hit every hockey bet I had on there.
And it was Canelo that killed it? Oh, that is brutal, man. That is brutal. It's still, we know Gervonta Davis fighting later on this month, so everybody's going to want to be there in the Fanduel Sportsbook. What are you sensing? Is it still just hot and heavy on the playoffs at this point?
Yeah, it's still just playoffs, Stanley Cup. That's where we're taking most of the action on right now.
I feel like at this point I am prepared to go ahead. And you know me, I'm a huge Phoenix Suns fan. But because at the moment I know, and by the way, they played like crap last night. But because I can still get plus money on the Warriors right now to win the NBA title, I feel like it's time to go ahead and make that bet, Leon, because I just think that ultimately they're the team that has the most. They're the team that doesn't need to rely on any one person. And they played one of the worst basketball games I've ever seen last night, and they still ended up winning it somehow. Like, I just feel like I'm coalescing around the idea that the Warriors are the team to beat.
Exactly. Yeah, you know what? I like it too. Right now, currently, it's at plus 185. So if you're going to jump on it now before it goes a little lower than that.
You know what's crazy to me, too, is how much one game can swing things, by the way, like in when we talk about these things, because I'm looking now at, like, the Eastern Conference, and the Bucks at plus 330, that's delicious to me. This is, like, I get it, they lost last night, but does anybody really believe that Al Horford is going to play that way every night? Like, I if I'm being completely honest, I kind of had forgotten Al Horford was in the league until last night. It's not actually true, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I think there's great value. I know they have to win another game on the road, but they already won a game on the road in this series. I love the Bucks at plus 330 in the East at the moment.
Oh, I'm right there with you on it.
Well, then good. Well, can I Venmo you a couple dollars? No, I don't think it works that way in the FanDuel Sportsbook. What are the bets that you guys are taking the most action on when it comes to playoff basketball?
It's always first basket, first quarter bets, and also the 3x2, which is 2 plus 3-pointers in the first 3 minutes. Those are like the top 3 bets that we take right now.
Are you taking, is it the scorer of the first basket, or is it the method of the first basket that gets the most action?
The method of the first basket.
So what is everybody, but this is fascinating to me, Leon. What is everybody, so tonight, for example, there are 2 playoff games. I am obviously quite interested in Mavericks Suns. What is the bet that's getting the most? I mean, like, the odds are crazy if you want to bet this. What is the bet that's getting the most action for the first basket in the Suns-Mavericks game?
It's usually going to be a 3-point field goal. That's usually what people are hammering on for the method of the first basket.
It looks like, by the way, right now, it looks like the Luka Doncic other. So that would be a 3. Why is there not a specific three-pointer listed? So for Luka Doncic, you can bet dunk, free throw, layup, or other. Oh, no, there's a three-pointer. Sorry, I found it. So three-pointers plus 2,100 for Luka Doncic. And other, I guess that's just a mid-range jumper. That's all the other is, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
What else could an other possibly be? A dunk, a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer. Yeah, it's just a mid-range jumper, right? There's not some sort of new way to score in the NBA that's been invented that I'm missing out on.
Yeah, not that I know of.
So right now, the best odds are for Luka Doncic, a mid-range Luka Doncic jumper at plus 1,300, a DeAndre Ayton mid-range jumper at plus 750, which is an odd. Like, I'm a little bit surprised that that's where the best action is for DeAndre, and the odds are that way. But that's an interesting bet for tonight in the NBA.
The PGA Championship. So we should definitely
favorite at 10-1 to win the PGA Championship in terms of golf. Is there anything else that you're just seeing people have a unique amount of interest in at this point, Leon?
Not right now. Like I said earlier, everyone's just basically focused on Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals playoffs. That's pretty much where we're seeing all our action.
Did you guys take Formula One action over the week? I feel like everybody on the planet was invested in the stupid Formula One race down in Miami.
We did have some wagers on it, and we actually did show it. We had one person request to put it beside the large screen because he was watching what we had on the big screen and he wanted it right beside there.
That's wild, man. It is wild, like the amount of interest that's coming up in that. So I know I mentioned the Gervonta Davis fight. We're chatting with Leon Twyman from the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. I mentioned the Gervonta Davis fight later on this month, but the Champions League final is also coming up later on this month. And I would assume that you guys, I know it's not the Super Bowl because we are in America, but I assume that's going to have to be a pretty heavy day for you guys, won't it?
Oh, it definitely will.
I get it. They're not playing at the same time. You might not be paying as much attention. But I know what this. I'm trying to find the odds. You don't happen to know what the odds. Exactly right. 20. Really? Again, wait. This is for the. All right.
Real Madrid is plus 160.
That is quite interesting. I might have to take a look at that number. See how I feel about that. All right. Anything else people should know, Leon Twyman, about what's going on in the FanDuel Sportsbook right now?
Definitely get in on those 61 kiosks that we have.
Open 24/7.
Take the action on the kiosk. Get those same game parlays in. We don't take same game parlays at our tills. They can only be done at the kiosk, and that's a good way to up those odds for those tickets.
Like everything about that. And, of course, open 24/7. The kiosks are. So whatever it is that you're betting on, if you are all in on Korean baseball in the middle of the night, you can bet on it. The 61 self-service kiosks at the FanDuel Sportsbook that are open 24/7. Leon Twyman, appreciate it as always, my friend. We will catch up with you again next Tuesday, all right?
All right, sounds good. I'll be there. I appreciate it.
It's Leon Twyman, the Assistant General Manager of the FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Appreciate him taking a couple for the Bills-Titans game in Week 2. Yeah, you do need to have your microphone on, yes.
Bills-Titans Week 2?
Yes, Monday Night Football. September 19th.
Bills -6.
Very close. It's Bills -7. Bills -7. Of course, the Titans, have a bit of a hole at wide receiver. However, they're probably going to run the ball a billion times. Maybe they'll have a quarterback controversy by then. Maybe by week 2, there will be a quarterback controversy in Tennessee.
Isn't the Bills' run defense usually pretty good?
Well, the front seven as a whole has definitely been bolstered, also with the addition of Von Miller this offseason.
Right. I forgot he went there.
Yeah, and it's the Bills, too, that we're talking about. So that number does make a bit of sense to me at -7. So that's the second game that is now available. That Eagles-Vikings game hasn't gone up on the board yet, nor has that Rams. And by the way, if you're betting the Rams-Broncos Christmas game, you have it's an entire NFL season away. There are so many things that could occur between now and then. There is no reason why you should be betting that game. But the entire schedule will be out by Thursday, so you'll be able to bet a bunch more individual games. And if you think if you think you know something, you can do it. What I would say is I would like to know a little bit more about who might get hurt, say, in training camp between now and when the games are played. Let's get a tidbit of the week. Paul, what you got for us?
I got to start finding my way to a casino to play some of these bets, man, because these people are just making out.
Well, a lot of people
$10 bets.
Well, a lot of people made out quite well on Rich Strike, but you would have been insane to have been betting on Rich Strike in the Kentucky Derby.
And Rich Strike is not my bet for
yes.
this, or it's not my tidbet. My tidbet is on a two-leg parlay that somebody placed before the Suns, Mavericks, and Heat 76ers game on Sunday. They hit on Devin Booker for a 3-point field goal for the method of the first basket in the Suns Mavericks, and PJ Tucker 3-point field goal method of the first basket between the Heat and the 76ers. It was a $10 total wager that netted them $6,300.
That's a good bet. That's a good bet, but I got a better one for you.
All right.
This comes from Joe Pompliano, and it is related to Rich Strike. The tweet says, Rich Strike was purchased for $30,000 last year, which is a true story, and just won $1.8 million at the Kentucky Derby. But rather than train, groom, and board the horse, you could have bet $30,000 on Rich Strike to win, and you would have won $2.4 million. Think about that.
Think about having $30,000 to bet.
But $30,000, essentially when he bought the horse, it was a $30,000 bet.
Yeah.
But it cost a lot more than $30,000 because, as they point out,
that's
you have
true.
to train the
so
horse.
He's saying if Rick Dawson had...
If all you had done is let somebody else buy the horse and you put a $30,000 bet in, so let's say they made $1.8 million, but what if that was actually profit? I don't know, 1.5, 1.6, and it's split up a little bit. You would have made $2.4 million instead. Now, look, that's clearly not a wise investment of any sort. There is nothing, that's not a good idea, but it is just very interesting that that's how the numbers play out. All right, that'll do it for this week's edition of Simply the Bets. We will be back next Tuesday, and then next week we will also have Weekend at Bookies for you on Thursday. No Weekend at Bookies this week. Don't forget, email events@sportssocialmd.com if you want to guarantee your spot for any upcoming playoff game, event, PGA Championship, Champions League Final, Gervonta Davis, Orlando Romero fight. You want to be there in the Fanduel Sportsbook. Email events@sportssocialmd.com to guarantee your table or your reclining chairs area, whatever it is that you're looking for. Get your email in that week. See you tomorrow for Glenn Clark Radio. This has been Simply the Bets. May the odds be ever in your favor.